From Blog Mickey, Walt Disney World 5th theme park approved by Oversight District. No plans currently under review, they do note. This probably, Mike, June 24, 2025. A new comprehensive plan has been released by the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District and Walt Disney World. This joint venture document was part of a settlement agreement between the district, Walt Disney World, and Ron DeSantis, following heated litigation after DeSantis took over a local government that regulated Walt Disney World. Took over! That's one way to characterize it, I suppose.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
There you go. The new comprehensive plan, which we're still skimming through, outlines planning through 2045, including allowing new development at Walt Disney World. It also addresses the possibility of a 5th theme park at the resort. Here's the latest. In the comprehensive plan, the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District has planned for and effectively approved a 5th theme park at Walt Disney World. This is an increase in the allowed maximum from a 2010 plan, but not an increase in the allowed maximum for more current comprehensive plans. In terms of timing, a 5th theme park would not be allowed to begin before 2035, according to the updated plans. Only one new major theme park is allowed through the end of the 2045 comprehensive plan. In addition to a single major theme park allocated in the comprehensive plan, the plan allows for 2 minor theme parks as well. A minor theme park could be a water park or similar, smaller offering. Culture, your thoughts on the possibility of a 5th theme park and the timing associated with it, and maybe other aspects of this story.
Look, whether or not we get a 5th gate or not, the restrictions here are pretty specific. It's a 10-year window they have to develop and open one, and that's kind of a short distance. Disney probably already should have had not just the 5th gate in place, not even in light of Epic down the street, but that should have been done a long time ago. The crowd capacity issues were only addressed by expanding existing parks in square footage, not necessarily in attractions, which is a different conversation we've been having, that they just continue to reduce their attraction count. And that's also what this new Removing Rivers of America is all about, is pulling attractions from there as well, including Tom Sawyer Island. But when you look at it, I'm surprised that they aren't allowing for it to happen sooner, but I'm not sure that that's not even punishment at this point, or some kind of level of control that maybe would encourage Disney to, put a little more effort into their existing parks and put more attractions into them to satisfy guests. But that's just speculation on my part.
I'm going to bounce off of one of the things you just said right there.
Yeah.
That they need to put money into their existing parks first.
Yeah.
That's really the problem when it comes down to it. Like, everybody wants a 5th gate in theory, but mostly we're all looking at what they've actually done over the last few years and thinking, why would we want them to do a 5th gate when they can't even take care of their own existing parks here? The 4th gate has 3 rides in it right now. If we're talking about Animal Kingdom, have they completely given up on that park? I know there's an expansion coming, but I mean, seriously, there's nothing in that park right now.
I think they have 6 attractions, right? 7, 6.
Yeah.
Did they already shut down the Indiana Jones experience? Oh wait, that's not what it's called there. Dinosaur.
They haven't shut that down yet, but honestly, I think of like major attractions I can think of, I think we're talking about maybe 4 or 5. I mean, it is.
You have the lame ride through Pandora. Then you have
Navi
Flight of
River Journey.
Passage. Yeah. So lame boat ride. And you have Flight of Passage. You have the safari itself, which I enjoy. I think that's the best thing you can do at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And then you have Kilimanjaro Safari. You have the Terrible Tube ride. I mean, not Kilimanjaro. The Everest, Expedition Everest. You have lame boat ride, tube ride, tubing with static characters, and obviously Dinosaur. Yeah, there's not much there.
There you go. I mean,
the train. Does the train thing still go? Do you get Rafiki's Nightmare?
Yeah, the train does still go. Actually, recently it broke down and shredded a bunch of people, and they had to walk all the way back.
Yeah, that's Rafiki's Nightmare, especially when it's 110 plus 9,000% humidity. Yeah, it's super.
They had to get wheelchairs out for people. It was a big deal. Jonas, your thoughts on this? Because I mean, from my vantage, I look at it and go, before talking about number 5, you should really be looking to complete numbers 3 and 4. But, that's just me. This timing is very interesting. We have a lot of people actually asking about why this timing might be in place. Do you have a theory as to why that might be?
Well, they probably want to announce that they could do a 5th theme park, and they've been approved for a 5th theme park. Good on Josh D'Amaro that he has this feather in his cap here, that he can actually say this if he's going to be going for that CEO seat, that he can say, oh yeah, we've an expansion unlike we've done for years, because it's been since Eisner that they've launched any domestic parks.
Wait, really?
Isn't it? I mean, Animal Kingdom was the last domestic park, wasn't it? Or was it California Adventure? Bob Iger, quote unquote, fixed California Adventure.
No, he didn't. It's still a hot mess.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But the narrative inside the company is that Bob Iger approved the relaunch of Disney's California Adventure, got Drew Carey right out of there. I got to say, anyhow, they're fully removing him now. For those of you who aren't following the tragic story of Superstar Limo, and
well, wait a minute,
that's
the greatest attraction ever made.
Yeah. So when they did it on the East Coast, they turned it into Rock and Roller Coaster. Anyhow, man, I'm just throwing so many inside jokes about theme parks in here.
I know
it's essentially useless.
I don't know. I love that one. It's true.
It's good.
Okay, so anyways, I don't think that they need to be focusing on a 5th gate. It's the kind of headline chasing that Disney loves right now, where you think about the headline more than you think about the practicality. They need to fix their current theme parks. They still haven't given the theme park public the mea culpa they need. They're still continuing to go for the elites who don't understand that these parks are being downgraded right now. Maybe they will after the Rivers of America are gone, because that's going to be very intangible for a lot of the rich folks out there until they understand that Cars attraction coming in there. I don't know. I don't think they should. I think that it's good that they've got it in their pocket. And if they announce anything within the next 2 years, I think it's the wrong move.
Look, they have a ton of opportunity within the given spaces that they have to give you some kind of experience that you can enjoy, which they don't bother to do. Instead, they reduce attraction count. I was going through it the other day, and I think I was on a rant. I don't think I was on here. I think it was either Friday or Saturday. Friday, during bonus time on the 6 Minute Daily, or my Saturday news update show. But man, I went on a rant about this. They have not added attraction count. They have subtracted attraction count. There was zero. I think we talked about this before, Vash. You don't have any reason to remove the Muppets when you're just extending a street into a monsters disaster plan that I think should have been, put elsewhere. What makes no sense to me is how they locked the land in. And all they had to do was turn everything 20 degrees the other side of things, and not have such a cavernous entrance to whatever the Black Rock Spire area is called, Galaxy something or another. But if you would have been able to extend Pixar to do an actual Cars Land attraction, an actual Monsters space, you would have had all that stuff that they locked themselves away from, all that land that backs that up. And now you have a driveway to a non-existent hotel, amongst other things that just, well, I guess the hotel still exists, just not as a hotel right now. It's a great big storeroom of disaster. But what? I mean, it's
no. I'm just realizing that they have no names for that land and 3 names for that land. They went for the J.R.R. Tolkien method here by giving it 3 names: Batu, Galaxy's Edge, and Star Wars Land.
And that's the other problem. If you are looking at a theme park company to underdevelop, they're really good at doing fake rocks, but they don't develop attractions to go someplace behind them. You only have 2 attractions in the Star Wars place. That's it. 2. You didn't get any of the interactive crap that they planned, and they said they were going to bring that into the fold here in recent days, and that's not there.
Yep.
Yeah. The third attraction would have been something at least unique, with walking robots that you ride. You know, it would have given you a lot of kinetic motion, which you don't have in Black Rock Spire. Or,
I think the real thing when it comes down to it here is there's probably a larger discussion about what would Disney even do with a fifth gate at this point. But until then, we probably need to table this discussion because there's a lot to unpack with the idea of Disney actually contemplating a fifth gate. Also, good for them that they actually have the oversight on that fifth gate now under cftod. Believe it or not, cftod seems to actually be doing its job and encouraging development at Disney, even maybe in spite of some of Disney's intentions there. So it's not what the fear mongers were saying that it was back in the day.
The narrative writers are so bad at Disney, they moved them over to writing Pixar movies.
I want to conclude this just real fast. Your room to grow. While there are currently no plans for a fifth theme park or two more minor theme parks, the district says that there is room for additional attractions and expansions. The district estimates that roughly 850 acres would be required if Disney were to build out to the maximums. Some 2,100 acres are currently marked for suitable or for development through 2045. Any future development is expected to carry on the tradition of being surrounded by natural settings and physical separation from existing development. Very, very interesting. There's a lot to unpack here. Hello there, Vash Sky in editing. And there was one aspect, very noteworthy aspect, that we just didn't have time to get to during our initial discussion of this topic, and I wanted to go ahead and include it here. You can see on my screen right now we have at least 7 theme parks presented. Don't mind the water parks right now, just major theme parks. We're talking about 7 theme parks right now, and that's between the big 2. That's between Disney and Universal. The question becomes, can the Orlando area actually support this many theme parks? It's interesting because Disney accidentally came upon something that was very revelatory and really changed the way that Disney looked at theme parks in the Orlando area when they opened Animal Kingdom back in 1998. When they opened that park, they discovered that even though they intended for guests to extend their vacations and add one more day via Animal Kingdom in order to see everything that Walt Disney World had to offer, what they discovered was, well, the American populace simply did not have another vacation day to spend at this resort. What people ended up doing was taking a day away from other theme parks like Disney's Hollywood Studios, but mostly like Epcot and Magic Kingdom in order to visit Animal Kingdom. So the intention of adding a day to people's vacations simply didn't come true. Now, for Universal, they were in a different situation, right? Because they were severely landlocked with their existing parks, and Epic Universe really did, I believe, extend people's vacations to that resort. But then the question becomes, is this practice sustainable of constantly increasing theme parks? Right now we have Magic Kingdom is probably kind of close to that 20 million figure in terms of annual attendance to that theme park, and all of the rest of Disney's theme parks fall somewhere within the range of 10. And then likewise, you have a little bit over 10 for Universal's existing theme parks, Epic Universe now brand new. So between all of them, we're talking, guess it's now 80 million with Epic Universe now there. But for Disney, you're talking about potential capacity annually about 50 million between all of those parks. Can they support 60? And can the area support 90? That's the big thing. That's the big deal when it comes to these specific theme parks in this area. What will the market allow? And even though from 1998, the population of the United States has gone up, where do we see wage growth? Where do we see the people who can even afford to go to these parks, has their quality of life improved to the point where they can afford another vacation day, they can afford to really support that amount of theme park capacity? I'm not entirely sure. Also, too, we know that the international market has slowed down tremendously. So these are all the questions that I think Disney is asking themselves when it comes to the possibility of a fifth gate at Walt Disney World. You have to look at this in much broader terms, and I think it's a really interesting discussion. Wanted to include it here. Now, back to the video. I just think it's incredibly interesting that maybe a fifth theme park might be coming at some time, but I do agree with the assessment here. It's just there's so much to do with their existing infrastructure. There's so much to do with their existing theme parks that talking about fifth gate even right now, that 2035 number that people are concerned about, it's
Can Disney
at this point we're so far away. Go ahead.
Yeah, can Disney get its act together? And I know we're wrapping, but can Disney get its act together in the next 7 years?
No. Not while the man in charge is there. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the other thing too, which we'll probably have to include in a future discussion. What happens when Bob Iger leaves?
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.